Now at 7 o'clock, new details on the mass stabbing in Salem that sent 12 people to the hospital. Plus,
because the one time I'm out here by myself just walking from the bus to my friend's house, boom, something happened.
A woman attacked by a man with a hatchet after getting off the bus near Portland State University. What she had to say about the incident.
Also coming up this hour, hidden in plain sight. We're talking about unmarked police vehicles that look the same as any other vehicle on the road. A look at the state of Washington's mission to crack down on aggressive drivers. Again, that story coming your way right here as our 7 o'clock hour sunrise streaming on KGW Plus begins right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney, playing the role of Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill this hour. What do you know? Chris McGinnis and Rod Hill. Whoa. There they are, weather and traffic fellas. Rod, let's start this hour with you.
Moments ago, I told you I would have the 7 o'clock temperature. Here it is. Salem, clear sky, mostly clear. It's kind of hazy. There's some little thin high clouds up there, but not much. 50 degrees, beautiful day upcoming. Here's your 7 a.m. number in Portland. We're at 52 degrees. Temperatures now starting to go up, of course, with the sunrise, around 5:30 this morning. 67 at noon, 76 at 5 o'clock. What you don't see here are the winds. And like the last couple days, we will see northwesterlies kick up at least into that 15 to 25 mile per hour range at some point this afternoon. Here's Chris.
Rod, thanks. Let's give you a live look at the roads in this 7 a.m. hour. Photojournalist Chad DeHart manning the wheel of Drive 8, getting stuck in traffic so you don't have to. He's about ready to head underneath Grand Avenue and MLK here as he approaches the I-5 split. It's moving along okay on that side of town. Door number 3 takes us to West Lynn. This is I-205 and your southbound commute coming off the Abernathy Bridge. That's certainly pretty busy. And door number 4, last but not least, the drive through North Portland. Not bad. It is busy, though, rolling off the interstate bridge heading southbound. Right now, the drive times are in check. Again, we can do a lot worse than this for this hour of a Tuesday morning. 20 minutes or so you're commuting from Troutdale. Nearly 20 minutes now on I-5 southbound from Main Street to the Fremont. A reminder, can't say this enough today, for the 80,000 of you that use the Broadway, the Steel, and the Burnside Bridge daily, know that with the arrival of the ships for Fleet Week, there are 3 ships arriving today. Bridge lifts will be impacting your afternoon commute. Upwards of 45-minute bridge lifts starting at 3 o'clock from 3 to 6 today. And then the next round of ships comes in tomorrow from 4 to 8. Also impacted here are the lower deck of the Steel Bridge. That bike pedestrian path will be closed for most of the day today and tomorrow. And of course, TriMet, Max, and bus line service that goes over the Steel Bridge will be impacted at the time of these lifts. Guys?
Thank you, Chris.
Down! Going in! This guy up!
That video right there was taken shortly after 12 people were stabbed Sunday evening at a shelter for men in Salem. Police arrested Tony Williams for that mass stabbing.
And we're learning more about Williams, the suspect in that case. He appeared in court yesterday. Ashley Graham joins us in the studio with what we know. Good morning, Ashley.
Yeah, good morning. Williams is charged with attempted murder and 11 counts of assault. Police say the initial investigation suggests this was not a targeted attack, but they haven't shared a motive yet. Now, this is video from yesterday when Williams appeared in Marion County Court. During an outburst in court, Williams refuted the charges filed against him.
All these charges are self-defense charges that they had me boxed in. Listen, no, everybody knows.
Police say Williams is from Bend and he was traveling by bus from Portland to Deschutes County. When he got off the bus in Salem, they say Williams pulled out a knife during a bag check at the shelter. Then police say he stabbed 12 people, 2 staff members and 10 shelter guests. The executive director of the Union Gospel Mission says this has been a really difficult situation for everyone, both guests, and staff.
And our staff and volunteers, they're shaken, as you could well imagine. I mean, we were down here praying with them last night. It's been a hard day.
Yesterday, when we talked with police, they told us 5 people who were stabbed are still in the hospital. The executive director of the mission, who you just heard from there, says one of those people is a staff member who's in critical condition. China?
Thank you. This morning, we're hearing from a woman who says that she was attacked by a man with a hatchet on Portland State's campus downtown.
Yeah, the woman and security guard who helped her, both okay this morning. KGW's Catherine Cook has more on this story for us. We also want to warn you that some of the pictures and video in the story are pretty graphic.
12 stitches later, I'm out of the hospital now.
It's the moment we met Hailey Salam as she tried to grasp what had happened to her Monday morning. How she ended up in the hospital with this massive gash in her back. The important thing?
I'm alive.
It was just after 11 a.m. Hailey, fresh off a TriMet bus, walked up to this trash can on Southwest 6th and Jackson near PSU. She says right behind her was a man with a hatchet.
I went to throw away a cup of tea and he just hacks me in the back. He was like, "Get the away from me," and then just boom.
Hailey started to bleed onto her shoes, onto her purse. She yelled for help. As fate would have it, this all happened right in front of a transit security office. Hailey took this video of a security guard following the suspect across the street. She says the man threatened him with the hatchet before getting doused with pepper spray.
The security guard ends up tackling him later, and he definitely got arrested, guys.
That's pretty shocking even for me, and I've been here a very long time.
Security guard Cameron Dunbar Yamaguchi ran out to help his coworker.
He's fine, yeah, he did a good job. I'm really proud of him for having the bravery to respond as quickly as he did and control that situation.
Together, Cameron says they held down the suspect, 42-year-old Daniel Dickens, until police showed up and arrested him. PSU campus public safety tells us they've arrested Dickens before and that he's excluded from campus.
What in the world? What is Portland coming to?
Hailey's just glad to be alive. She's glad for the 12 stitches holding her back together. And she's glad to offer this advice to anyone who'll listen.
Literally watch your back. Because just be safe out here. Because the one time I'm out here by myself just walking from the bus to my friend's house, boom, something happened.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Let's take a look at some other local headlines we're following for you this morning. A woman in Woodburn is facing DUI and hit and run charges after police say she hit a motorcyclist Saturday night, then kept going. Investigators say 32-year-old Brenda Alvarez Gonzalez was driving erratically on Highway 99E. The motorcyclist who was hit left the scene, though, before officers got there. Hasn't been identified yet. Police are asking anyone who saw the crash or helped out at the scene to give them a call. Our next story this morning is about what might be the first ICE arrest at a Portland courthouse under President Trump's new immigration policies.
Attorneys for the person say that they are a Mexican national who is seeking asylum. And lawyers with the Innovation Law Lab who are representing the person say that they appeared for a hearing yesterday as part of an asylum claim after ICE agents arrested them. Lawyers say that their clients fears deportation and they filed an emergency petition to stop it. The person is transgender and their lawyers say that they suffered violence at the hands of a dangerous cartel and came to the U.S. in late 2023. We reached out to immigration officials for comment, but we have not heard back yet.
The city of Portland is planning to remove 3 blocks from a street plaza on Northwest 13th in the Pearl District. Some local businesses, though, say they are not happy with this plan. PBOT says removal follows 2 years of repeated complaints from the public and continued permit violations by the businesses. They say oversized and closed dining structures, like we saw just a moment ago, this one's right here is another example, are blocking emergency access and public use. And despite multiple warnings and extensions that gave the businesses time to make changes, nothing's been done. PBOT says the 3 businesses in the area will be fined $500 a day until these structures are taken away. Only 1 block of the 4 will remain open fully to just pedestrians.
Hey, take a look at this. A wildlife hospital in Central Oregon called Think Wild is caring for 2 orphan bobcat kittens. They're adorable. They sent us these videos and pictures. The pair was found abandoned at a rest stop near Tye Valley in Wasco County. Both kittens are about 4 weeks old and have multiple health issues, but over the past week, they've shown signs of improvement. The goal is to release them into the wild once they're old enough to survive on their own. They look like little baby kittens, I think. Just little schoolhouse kittens.
Yeah. They're good to be good-sized kitty cats.
They're cute.
We have another beautiful day coming. It's going to be very similar on this Tuesday as what we had yesterday, mid-70s again. mostly sunny skies. You see a little bit of cloudiness. This is mid to high level stuff kind of dropping down the flow pattern. We have a mix of some cloudiness along the coast, but other than that, it's generally mostly sunny. Now, this camera shows more in the way of some cloudiness this morning. Salem Tasting Room in Sherwood, temperature out there 46 degrees. That's actually the cloudiest inland camera that I have. Here's Willamette Valley Vineyards in Turner, just south of Salem off of I-5. You can see the mostly sunny blue skies there looking out over the valley and the vineyard this morning. Temperatures outside 40s to about 50. It's 52 up in Vancouver now. Sherwood's in the 50s. Wilsonville, good morning, 48 degrees for you. Winds are generally light to less than 10 as we start our day. It's 47 out in Silverton this morning. Good morning to you. All right, so here we go with the dry weather. Beach, some cloudiness this morning, expected to be partly to mostly sunny as we go through the day, like you had yesterday as well. Inland areas are generally all in the 70s, and here's our extended forecast. So 76 today. Now tomorrow, different story. Push of solid marine clouds that could be solid clouds all morning, could still be overcast going into the afternoon, could be some patchy drizzle in the morning, and I'm not sure we'll make it to 70, depends on clearing patterns or lack thereof. But after that, getting into the heart of Fleet Week and of course Grand Floral Parade Saturday, it's all sunny with warming numbers. 84 Friday, nearing 90 Saturday, 93 on Sunday, and then 88 degrees on Monday. And again, I like to point out, hot afternoon on Saturday, but parade time starts in the morning. It would be really nice out there. And that is your update. Here's Chris.
Good looking first week of June. All right, Rod, let's get you out the door. I want to pick it up with a traffic alert in Marion County. It's just north of Woodburn. Looks like we've got a crash on I-5 northbound approaching Donald. The freeway's open. Looks like we've got at least one lane blocked, though, and there's about a 2-mile area of delay here getting north of Broadacres Road. So puttering along a little bit there at about 27 miles an hour. Let's take you back up to the Westland, Oregon City area, I-205 south from Oregon City. And there you can see we are slow and go there from basically Highway 213 past 99E and over to Highway 43 on the Westland side of the Abernathy Bridge. So a normal pinch point for your drive there. The I-5 trip from Clark County up to 20 minutes now on that southbound commute. And a reminder, by the way, in Clark County, or excuse me, on the border between Clark and Skamania County, SR 14 down to one alternating lane today, tomorrow, and Thursday. WashDOT doing some paving here out near Cape Horn, from Cape Horn to Prindle. They're going to use a pilot car to get one alternating lane through the area. So guys, expect delays. Again, that's from 7:30, so in just a few minutes from now until as late as 4 o'clock today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
I see a sneaky red Charger that would come up on me and know if I was speeding without my having an opportunity to slow down.
Still to come here on Sunrise, why more unmarked police and sheriff's office cars could be coming to the state of Washington. And we're also going to share new details about the man accused of setting people on fire in Boulder, Colorado this past weekend. That story all the way as Sunrise, streaming live at 7 o'clock, continues in 2 minutes.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. KGW's Evening News.
Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your evening news team, tonight on KGW.
They typically blend right into traffic. In fact, you probably won't notice them unless you break the rules of the road. We're talking about Washington State Patrol's growing fleet of unmarked vehicles. They're using them right now to crack down on aggressive and speeding drivers. Sebastian Robertson with our sister station in Seattle takes a closer look at this strategy and the concerns that come with it.
Nothing like a siren and flashing lights to get your head on a swivel. That's what happened to me just a few days ago. This unmarked silver pickup jumped a curb and maneuvered around traffic, a move I caught on my dash cam and iPhone. I thought it was a fake cop. Turns out it was a real law enforcement vehicle. And how about this one? This red Dodge Charger, complete with a new driver sticker on the back, is part of the State Patrol's undercover fleet. It's part of the patrol's aggressive driving apprehension team, or ADAT. It focuses on intervening when drivers are out of control and could cause a collision.
I see a sneaky red Charger that would come up on me and know if I was speeding without my having an opportunity to slow down.
Well, he's got a horn, he's got strobe lights in the rear.
Former King County Sheriff John Urquhart says unmarked vehicles can be an effective tool for highway patrol, but they come with limitations and risks.
Unmarked cars are problematic for a whole bunch of different reasons. Number one, they can't see you coming. Number two, they may not believe that you're really a police officer.
Some drivers are against the tactic. The red Charger earned its own Reddit thread. The new driver sticker is diabolical, wrote one Reddit user. Did you call the police to report a possible impersonator, said another. The use of unmarked vehicles is not new in law enforcement. WSP has used similar vehicles since '98, a fleet that's grown to 50 in recent years. And this summer, they're targeting speeders.
Now, I happen to think State Patrol has a good reason. You know, they're tasked with writing speeding tickets and cutting down on reckless drivers. And if you got an unmarked car, like that one there in your video, you're much more likely to be able to do that.
Again, that was Sebastian Robertson reporting for us from Seattle. Again, experts suggest if you're worried about who's trying to pull you over, you can call 911 during that incident. They say the dispatchers can quickly confirm whether or not the person pulling you over is legit.
I'm a speed limit driver.
You are? Yeah,
I am.
Yes, he is.
Speed limit driver.
How do you know?
I
think she seems very sincere, yes. Yeah.
How did that happen? I mean, like, why have you been so, you should be against the idea of speeding, I get that, but like, why are you so conscious of it, do you think?
I think, honestly, and this is going to be sounding ridiculous, my mindset on life has kind of changed. And I've been like, so go, and waiting to the last minute to get somewhere, and now I just have more time, and I'm just relaxed, and the people that want to speed, I'm like, go for it, buddy.
The time in your car could be a time of relaxation.
Yes, I listen to podcasts, Dateline, you know.
All right, there you go.
Calm, cool, and collected.
A little look into the brain of China Green.
Yeah, but you, sir, you don't like the speed limit. That's your problem.
I will say, if you constantly drive like 10 miles an hour over the speed limit on a highway, when you really do drive the speed limit, it seems crazy slow.
If you go 10 miles over, though, you'll also notice you don't really get to where you're going much faster.
No.
If at all.
But you're happier when you get there, I find. Do not take Rod Hill's life advice.
No,
do not.
It's illegal.
Okay, do not do that. High pressure ridge sitting offshore. This is going to be moving inland for the weekend, and as it does, it will become a heat maker. And weather models for several days now love 90-degree temperatures this weekend, at least one of the 2 days, and that's still the case. This is a dry weather pattern. What you can't see here, though, is an expected push of solid low marine clouds surging inland tomorrow morning. I'll show you that in a moment. You can pick up some of the mid to high level clouds, that light gray shading that's down over us, but that's not impactful stuff. Cloudiness at the beach has not been solid, and during the day this will be breaking up even more so you folks will get at least partly cloudy skies today. This is our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. 48 is your early morning number. We're calling it a mostly sunny start here in Portland. We're at 52. Winds are light, but those breezes we've had lately from the northwest will be returning this afternoon. Everybody's dry, no weather-related issues. Driving out on 84 through the gorge, you'll find noticeable breezes as the day marches on. Right now it's 56 in the Dalles, 51 out in Pendleton, 40s in central and eastern Oregon, and 50 degrees in Newport. All right, here's Futurecast. Just shows you a nice, quiet, really nice day, mostly sunny skies overall. Here's that solid marine push. We haven't seen this in a while. All weather models have been biting on this for a while. And if the marine clouds are thick enough, the surge coming in, we'll absolutely see some light moisture from those clouds at the beach tomorrow morning. And there's a 50-50 chance we'll see some drizzle patches here in the valley tomorrow morning. So maybe a little bit of wetness. Cloudiness could be stubborn to clear, meaning still cloudy at noon and then slow to break up in the afternoon with some areas maybe not getting out of the clouds. If you don't get out of the clouds tomorrow, your highs will only be in the 60s. One of our Futurecast models shows tomorrow afternoon just that. Temperatures in the valley only in the 60s. Now, tomorrow's low cloud push does not get up over the Cascades, so you folks in Prineville and John Day and Pendleton will be sunny. This is tomorrow evening. It's showing you folks in the 70s. Some of you will be up to 80 tomorrow. All right, the coast forecast for today. Early cloudiness, otherwise partly to mostly sunny. Low to mid 60s. Breezes at least bouncing to 25 from the northwest at times. We'll get those afternoon breezes here in the valley as well. Salem 78. Southwest Washington, afternoon breezes picking up. Battleground 75. Forecast for the heart of Fleet Week and certainly Grand Floral Parade Saturday looks great, although getting warm. We talked about today and tomorrow, 80 on Thursday, 84 Friday, 88 Saturday, maybe 90, 93 Sunday, and then still pretty warm on Monday. And that is your 7-day forecast. Here's Chris.
You mentioned Fleet Week and Rose Festival and all that stuff. Well, let's talk about the important details that impact the 80,000 of you that use any one of these three bridges. The Broadway, the Steel, the Burnside Bridge. With the arrival of the ships, again come bridge lifts, and these are longer than the typical 15-20 minute bridge lift, lasting up to 45 minutes. Those bridge lifts start occurring between 3 and 6 p.m. today, and then the next round of ships comes in tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. So this afternoon and the tomorrow Wednesday afternoon commutes greatly impacted by these bridge lifts and the arrival of the ships. Not only that, but of course, MAX and TriMet bus service goes over the Steel Bridge, so there will be temporary delays there. And also know that for anyone that bikes or runs across the Steel Bridge in the East Bank Esplanade, that will be off limits basically for most of the day today and tomorrow in preparation for the arrival of the ships. All right, let's get you back down to Marion County. That earlier crash in the Donald area looks like that has cleared enough. The traffic is moving along okay. We bring you farther north up near Wilsonville. Not in Wilsonville specifically, but south of there, the drive's pretty thick. And there's your I-5 southbound trip through North Portland. Right now, getting in from Clark County in about 22 minutes from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Guys?
Thank you, Chris. Still to come on Sunrise, new video showing the moments a man set several people on fire in Boulder, Colorado. Your national headlines coming up in just 2 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW+.
Welcome back to Sunrise. We have new details this morning about the man accused of using a makeshift flamethrower this past weekend in Colorado to attack a group of demonstrators. They were calling for the release of Israeli hostages in Gaza. We also want to warn you that some of the video in this story may be difficult to watch. The suspect is 45-year-old Mohammed Sabri Solomon. You see him right there. He's now charged with a federal hate crime. Solomon is an Egyptian national who officials say was living in the U.S. illegally after his visa expired. 12 people were hurt over the weekend, 8 of them hospitalized, and authorities say the suspect planned this attack for more than a year. According to the Associated Press, the charges against Solomon include 16 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
Meanwhile, local groups, including the Jewish Federation of Greater Portland, are reacting to the attack. The federation saying it remains committed to confronting violence and hatred towards the Jewish community.
We just feel so deeply for all the people in Boulder. It's not just about the Jewish community, right? The Jewish community is connected to other communities in Boulder, and they are affected by this as well. It's a great town, and I'm sure the whole town is really struggling with this having happened there.
The Colorado attack comes less than 2 weeks after 2 Israeli embassy staffers were gunned down while leaving an event at the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Now to your morning rush. Pro-Palestinian protesters rushed the stage at a Washington, D.C. artificial intelligence conference Monday. It happened during a discussion between Navy Secretary John Phelan and former Congressman Mike Gallagher. The protesters were escorted off stage as they shouted at Gallagher. Phelan didn't acknowledge the protesters' disturbance on stage. Jonathan Joss Gonzalez, an actor known for his roles in King of the Hill and Parks and Recreation, was shot and killed on Sunday in Texas. Police have arrested Sigfredo Alvarez and charged him with murder. They believe that shooting stems from a dispute between the two neighbors. Gonzalez's husband, Tristan Gonzalez, confirmed his death in a statement saying, quote, "When the man fired, Jonathan pushed me out of the way. He saved my life." And in Italy, Sicily's Mount Etna erupted, sending a cloud of smoke more than 20,000 feet into the air. Officials say the site does not pose a danger to the public. The video shows tourists were visiting the site, fleeing for safety as it erupts. And experts say the lava flows emitted during the eruption did not pass the natural containment area. And that's a look at your morning rush.
All right, coming up in our next half hour, some of the craziest local video of the morning. It shows a homeowner in Vancouver fighting off a DoorDash driver who showed up at the man's house with a gun to complain about a tip. The man showed him who was boss. We'll have that story for you in just a few minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Coming up on 7:29 on your Tuesday morning drive. Busy through North Portland and out of Clark County. I-5 southbound now about 25 minutes or so to get you in from Main Street. Here's the live look up near the Expo Center. All 3 lanes slow and go on that side of town. I-5 coming in from Wilsonville, that's about a 24-minute ride at last check. And the trip in from Hillsborough, 25 minutes right now on the Sunset. Big reminder today, bridge lifts of the Broadway, Steel, and Burnside bridges from 3 to 6 p.m. for the arrival of round 1 of the ships for Fleet Week. Round 2, of course, is tomorrow. Rod?
All right, good reminders there, Chris. Thank you very much. We have another nice day coming our direction. Live camera for you this morning over Salem. 50 degrees is the number. Portland's about the same. We're at 52. Winds are light this morning, but northwest breezes will kick up this afternoon like they have been, at least bouncing up into the 20-plus mile-per-hour range. 67 to noon, very comfortable 76 degrees. Hey, tomorrow, not only a solid cloudy start, but maybe some morning drizzle to begin your Wednesday. After that, we're back to sun and warming numbers. We have 88 on Saturday and 93 degrees on Sunday.
7:30 half hour of sunrise. It might be our finest half hour of the morning as we celebrate National Egg Day.
Egg Day!
Egg Day!
Sriracha!
We wanted to ask our viewers, how do you like your eggs?
Yeah.
Boy, did you guys give us lots of responses. How about Paula from Hillsborough saying she grew up eating Lebanese eggs? What does that mean?
Yeah, what's that?
Well, she says they're typically fried and then they're seasoned with sumac. I hope I'm saying that right. Olive oil, garlic. She says the yolk is soft and you serve those eggs with freshly toasted pita bread.
Sounds good.
All right, Tana got on board with this conversation, said she likes her eggs either poached or, I like this suggestion, as part of a salmon Benedict. That's good. And then Ron chimes in. Listen to Ron. He says, quote, eggs over easy with crispy hash browns, a side of sausage patties, black coffee with that, and wheat toast. He said, quote, love that American breakfast.
Yeehaw!
America!
America!
What about jelly on the toast? Do you do that? Do you have just butter or jelly on it?
I both, either or, but I do like a little jelly.
Yeah,
or jam.
I do too.
Yeah.
I just went to the Polar all fruit commercial.
What are you talking about?
Never mind.
What are you talking about?
Translate!
Commercial.
Translate. Hand the
Were we-
commercial.
Remember the commercial where the guy's like, can you please pass the jelly? And everyone just goes,
No.
Give me the jelly over here.
Ah.
Yeah.
jam.
Thank you, Mr. McGinnis.
No.
It ain't so hard for me to jam.
We love that you choose to watch this show. All right, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. A little bit of blue, a little bit of cloudiness. Generally speaking, another partly cloudy day coming your direction. Right now, 49. This is one of our cloudier cameras. That's a mid to high level cloud deck that's drifting through. These clouds will pass. This is out in Washington County, Sherwood, Chehalem Tasting Room camera. 48 is the temperature there. Moving forward, generally mostly sunny and comfortable. 67 to noon. We'll get those northwest breezes this afternoon, and we'll warm back up to about 76 right in that sweet spot for a high temperature. Chris?
All right, thank you, Rod. Let's go ahead and talk about the big deal today, traffic-wise, are the arrival of the ships for Fleet Week and the bridge lifts that occur later this afternoon. This is right during the heart of the afternoon commute. Today from 3 to 6 and tomorrow from 4 to 8 p.m. And these aren't your typical bridge lifts. These bridge lifts can last up to 45 minutes at a time. And if you're wondering how impactful that is, if you add the sum of all traffic here, it's close to 80,000 cars and trucks a day that use the Burnside, the Steel, and the Broadway bridges. Not only that, but of course, MAX, TriMet traffic and bus traffic goes over the Steel Bridge, so there will be delays there as well. And last but not least, the Steel Bridge, the pedestrian crossing and the bike way that's down on the lower deck, that'll be closed for the duration of today and most of tomorrow as well as the ships are arriving. All right, drive times right now in full swing. I-5 southbound, 25 minutes to get you in from Main Street. There's your favorite parking lot. I-5 from basically the Interstate Bridge down to the Fremont Bridge, puttering along at about 15 miles an hour. China?
Thank you, Chris. We are continuing to learn more about a mass stabbing at a men's shelter in Salem that left a dozen people injured. According to authorities, the initial investigation suggests that this was not a targeted attack.
Salem police now say 12 people were stabbed on Sunday, one more than first reported. 5 of those people still in critical condition. Let's talk about the suspect. There you see him on your screen, 42-year-old Tony Williams of Bend. He's charged with attempted murder and 11 counts of assault. He refuted the charges against him during a court appearance yesterday. The stabbings happened just after 7 o'clock Sunday evening at the Union Gospel Mission's men's shelter in Salem. Again, police say Williams stabbed 12 people altogether, including 2 shelter employees. They also say he was just arriving at the shelter and was going through a bag check when he pulled out a knife. Williams is being held in jail without bail. We also have an update for you this morning on 81-year-old Joan Ivan, who went missing sometime between May 16th and May 19th. Portland police say Joan was found dead on Saturday. They say there was no indication of foul play.
A Vancouver man says he had to fight to protect his family when a former DoorDash driver brought a gun to his home to confront him about a tip. Anthony Valino says that the DoorDash driver, Robert Delahant, had come by his house the night before to drop off an order of groceries. Valino's daughter had then tipped Delahant online, but apparently he wanted a cash tip. And for a second, Valino thought about giving him one.
When he again said, "I want my tip," that's when I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. He leaned in like I didn't hear him. And that's when I put my hand up like a stop sign and I said, hey, hey, hey. And I said, you need to leave now.
The two then got into a scuffle. That's when Valino realized Delahant had a gun in his waistband.
He tripped right here and he tripped up against my wife's car. And as he was on the ground, I came about right here and I leaned over and I cleared the handgun.
Vancouver police arrived soon after and arrested Delahant. He now faces felony harassment, DUI, and assault charges. Neither he nor Valino was injured in the incident. A spokesperson for DoorDash told KGW that the company has, quote, a zero tolerance policy for harassment of any kind. What happened was unacceptable, and that Dasher involved was immediately deactivated.
Tomorrow marks 1 year since Uber driver Josh Kelvin was shot and killed while working in Southeast Portland, and police have still not made any arrests in this case. Sunrise reporter Ashley Grams is back with us here in the studio. Ashley, I know you had the opportunity to sit down with Josh's wife.
Yeah, I did. I talked with her about what this past year has been like for her family. Through all the questions, she hasn't stopped fighting for closure and more safety measures to protect drivers like her husband. Holding tightly to this piece of paper, this case number.
All it takes is 30 seconds and your life is completely turned upside down and crushed.
Kelly Kelvin believes someone knows something about the murder of her husband, Josh Kelvin.
Constantly running through your mind.
Constantly. I mean, the day I got the call from the detective constantly runs through my mind.
1 year ago, Kelly first told us about the moment she learned her husband had been killed.
And he says, I'm so sorry, but he was killed. I lost it. I screamed.
At the time, she asked for answers, for someone to come forward with information. And this year, that plea hasn't changed. No arrests have been made.
If it was your family, you'd want closure. We just need closure.
Portland police say Josh was shot and killed on June 4th, 2024, while working as an Uber driver in Southeast Portland.
He had 20,075 rides under his belt, and all it took was one.
He was driving a 17-year-old passenger who was also shot. The teenager survived, and police say he was eventually released from the hospital. As Kelly's family waits for answers, she's taken up a new fight.
This change needs to happen.
Advocating for stricter safety measures to protect rideshare drivers.
I can't let my grief and anger be put into a negative. I need to override the negativity in our world and make a positive difference. My husband worked 6 12-hour days.
Kelly testified before lawmakers in Salem, talked with Portland city councilors, and works with Portland's Drivers Advisory Committee. She's pushing for passenger verification and the end of third-party rides.
That's just a few things. I want to mandate video cameras inside the vehicles. I'm not going to go quiet. Another driver's family does not need to be in my position.
A widow who won't let her husband's life be forgotten.
And I hope whoever did it thinks about Josh every single day like I do. I hope he weighs heavy on their mind.
Portland police declined to sit down with us for an interview about this case, but they do say the investigation is open and active. They ask anyone who might know something about Josh's murder to give them a call. This story is part of our More Than a Number initiative. Our goal here is to give victims of tragedy a face and to give families a voice. If you lost a loved one who was a member of our community, we want to share their story. You can email us at morethananumber@kgw.com or find more details at kgw.com/morethananumber.
President Trump is expected to discuss tariffs with China's president this week.
That discussion will happen at the same time the Senate begins to debate the president's spending package. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest on all of this for us from Washington, D.C.
Tariff talks back in the spotlight this morning with reigniting tensions between the U.S. and China, threatening to derail trade negotiations, each side accusing the other of violating terms that led them to temporarily scale back steep tariffs. Administration officials have said President Trump and China's leader have to directly engage to get back on track.
I can confirm that the two leaders will likely talk this week.
That as higher steel and aluminum tariffs that President doubled to 50% are set to take effect tomorrow.
Which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States.
The European Union says it's preparing countermeasures. Small businesses watching the shifting picture warily.
American businesses are paying these tariffs. I just know that we have 9 people, and if we don't get some relief soon of these tariffs, we're going to have 3 people.
It all comes as the Senate this week takes up President Trump's massive budget bill,
with the goal of getting the final bill to the president before the 4th of July.
It already passed through the House, but several Republican senators have voiced concerns over the projected increase to the deficit from extending major tax cuts and increasing defense and immigration spending, arguing there aren't enough spending cuts.
I would be very surprised if the bill at least is not modified in a good direction.
Even as protesters rallied against what the bill does slash to Medicaid and food assistance programs. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The Evergreen School District will offer free breakfast and lunch to children again this summer. So here's a list of the schools providing meals. The program will be available for kids 1 to 18 years old, regardless if they attend a Evergreen school. The meals do need to be eaten on site, though. You can go to the USDA website for more information. Your time now is 7:40. Headed over to meteorologist Rod Hill. Beautiful week ahead.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. More comfortable weather today. Hope you enjoyed your Monday. Your Tuesday will be very similar. High pressure ridge parked offshore. We're getting a northwest surface wind on the front side of this. It is keeping us dry, although models love a thick marine layer of low cloudiness tomorrow morning, and that could bring at least some misty weather, traces of moisture with it. For today, though, all dry no matter where you go in Oregon and Washington. A little bit of mid-high level cloudiness spilling up top early this morning, but our cameras generally show mostly sunny skies. Let's go golf course to golf course. There's the reserve golf course out in Washington County, 52 degrees. There's Camas Meadows this morning over on the east side, obviously in Clark County. All right, temperatures outside right now. Generally, the winds are light. 52 in Gresham and downtown Portland and Vancouver. Still mid-40s out in Hillsboro this morning. Salem, you're now sitting at 50, and it's still in the 40s out in McMinnville at 47 degrees. Leroy is our KGW Dog of the Day on this Tuesday. Use that email address, dogoftheday@kgw.com. Send us your dog's photo name. Your dog will become our Dog of the Day. That's Leroy. All right, our forecast map is the dry one. We've got temperatures getting up to about 60 at the coast, but inland areas today generally will be 70 or better. This shows Sun River getting up to 70, LeGrand the same. Upper 70s to maybe reaching 80 for a high out in the Dalles. You folks will get that same northwest wind gusting more than 30 miles per hour this afternoon. So 76 today. Much of Wednesday could be cloudy, and if so, we'll struggle to hit 70. Maybe some mist in the morning, but then it's all sun and warmth. 80, 84 Friday, 88 Saturday, 93 on Sunday would become our first 90-degree temperature of 2025. Here's Chris.
All right, Rod, thanks for that. A reminder with Fleet Week starting in a couple, well, tomorrow, the ships start arriving 2 days. So that means bridge lifts of the Broadway, the Steel, and the Burnside Bridge. Those bridge lifts start between 3 and 6 p.m. Bridge lifts can take up to 45 minutes and a shot. So just be aware of that. You might want to try taking the Fremont, which means extra busy traffic on I-405, or maybe the Hawthorne or the Morrison Bridge. All right, I-5 right now south of town. That's near Wilsonville. Traffic still moving along okay. I mean, we've got a couple of slow spots out there. By the way, out in Skamania County, SR-14 washed out doing some road work today, tomorrow, and Thursday. They're doing some paving out near Cape Horn. And so there's a 2-mile stretch of SR-14 where only one lane is open at a time, and they're using a pilot car to shuttle cars through there. So obviously that's going to create some delays. Guys, again, that's today until 4 o'clock, and again tomorrow and Thursday as well. Drew, back to you.
Thank you, Chris.
It's not big enough to build a case. So it's
I don't remember what the word he said, but it's kind of like it's not worth it.
Still to come on Sunrise, a Portland police sting nabs dozens of people suspected of retail theft. We're hearing from some local business owners about the sting. Are they happy? Not necessarily. We'll explain why when Sunrise, streaming live at 7 o'clock, continues right after this.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, a homeless shelter has been in the works for one Northwest Portland neighborhood. But surrounding business owners say they just found out about it, like a couple of days ago, and they have concerns. Watch The Story tonight, live at 6:30 on KGW, or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Vidawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Vidawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team. Tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Portland police say that they've arrested 36 people and recovered $3,000 worth of stolen goods during their latest large-scale retail theft sting. KGW's Libby Dowsett talked to one local retailer who says that they are hoping that this means police are taking thefts and burglaries at smaller shops more seriously.
Surveillance video from the 6th Avenue Ready Print Shop in downtown shows a man breaking in, walking around, and stealing a phone and laptop from the desk. The owner, Carolyn Chayati, says the man took off his rubber gloves, but she says police didn't seem to want the gloves or to pursue a case.
It's not big enough to build a case, so it's I don't remember what the word he said, but it's kind of like it's not worth it.
Local law enforcement at Monday's news conference said no matter what the size of the business, it's time to get serious about retail theft.
They are out there working hard to really affect this issue that's really having a massive impact on our large businesses, our small businesses, and everything in between.
From grocery stores with their cheese, hummus, and berries to smaller shops like the Plaid Pantry on Southwest 11th, clerks say people are taking anything they can get their hands on. Gresham police released this drone video of a suspect making a run for it.
We use our drones, our community safety specialist, our public safety cameras, and live 911 technology.
In an operation Friday, Portland police arrested 36 people and recovered $3,000 of property. Gresham police made 5 arrests and recovered $320 of merchandise. Other agencies and counties all around Oregon participated in the nationwide retail theft mission. Portland police say they try to have their own missions at least once a month.
The mom and pop shops. We here at Central Precinct have good relationships with them to the point of being able to text when they think something is going on. And
Plaid Pantry's clerk said one of their employees does text police when needed, and police typically respond. Caroline at Ready Print says it's too late for her shop. They're closing and taking operations online. Even recovering a small amount of money, she said, a few $1,000s can make a difference.
Even a little $100, we are a business owner, so small business owner. We're not a big giant business owner, so it's worth it.
Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Next stop on the Sunrise Show tour, the Oregon Zoo.
Yeah, there it is.
Quick look at the zoo before we get to Rod's forecast. Zoo, by the way, onto their summer hours now. Those kicked in on May 24th. So the zoo opens up at 9 o'clock every morning.
Okay.
This weekend, big happenings at the zoo.
What's happening?
Zoo Brew.
Zoo Brew?
Yeah, it's like a beer fest at the zoo. So for 21 and over only. That's coming up on Friday and Saturday. Almost said Saturday and Sunday, but it's a Friday and Saturday event.
They have music, I assume. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, the live music, the food carts.
Have you ever been?
To Zoo Brew?
To the zoo.
To the zoo?
Yeah.
Oh, Drew's been to the zoo. Drew at the zoo. Only on Sunrise.
Amazing.
Let's get you going. It's going to be a good day. I want to point out we'll have the similar winds kicking up during the day that we've had. I was in Depot Bay the last couple of days. It was beautiful weather, but it was windy. It was windy. How windy was it? It was so windy that you hit your golf ball, and your golf ball went that way, then the wind took it, and then the ball was so gone that you couldn't find it. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen,
thank you.
That's how windy it was. All right, we have northwest winds coming down at the beach today, at least up into the 25-mile-per-hour range. Similar conditions here in the valley, probably some 30 to 40-mile-per-hour winds out in the gorge, all from the northwest, re-picking up or redeveloping this afternoon. High-pressure ridge offshore, we are all dry today. This high, though, moves inland over the weekend, and at that point, it will become a heat maker. It's actually a pretty strong high. If you're a weather buff, the central pressure on that's 594 millibars. That's pretty high. Pretty strong. All right, a little bit of cloudiness in the upper flow pattern drifting overhead right now, so it's not perfectly clear, but generally we are mostly sunny. There's the Oregon Zoo. Drew Carney, what time does the zoo open this morning?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. There you go. Beautiful shot. Temperature right now, 51 degrees. No winds up there. It'll be even if it gets breezy this afternoon like it did yesterday, still really comfortable to be out and about, enjoying yourself. There is our lack of clear skies, but clearly we're getting some sun. 52 is the number from the Wells Fargo building. Other numbers, 47 up in Kelso. Your cameras show partly cloudy skies as well. 40s in Baker City, John Day, and Burns this morning. Hey, tomorrow we mix things up a little bit. Here's today, generally just a lot of sun. But look at this. Look at this. Here we go. This is tomorrow morning. Solid push of marine cloudiness like we haven't seen in a while. You can tell it's a low cloud deck because the white represents the clouds. And notice the clouds hit the Cascades, and the depth of the moisture layer is not high enough to get over the Cascades. So the Cascades becomes a rail or a wall and holds those clouds off, and everybody else to the east is sunny. Probably there will be some misty or drizzle spots at the beach tomorrow morning, and we may get a little bit of light moisture in the morning in at least patchy spots here in the valley. Later in the day, this shows some partial clearing. Forecast numbers say the clouds hold on long enough tomorrow. Some of the modeling that Portland only gets into the mid-60s. That's a possibility. I've got us at 70. We'll need some sun to do that. Otherwise, 83 in Arlington, 81 in Pilton. This is tomorrow where you folks will be keeping the sunshine going. All right, back to today's numbers. 70s in the valley. The afternoon winds northwest 5 to 25. Similar numbers in southwest Washington. Out in the gorge, we mentioned those winds picking up and becoming gusty. The Dow's 81. Cascade Locks 76. Portland goes 76 to maybe we make it to 70 tomorrow with the cloud cover. Maybe we don't. And then it's 80. Now we're getting in the heart of Fleet Week. 84 Friday. 88 to maybe 90 on Saturday. We think 93 on Sunday. So certainly the afternoons will be big time hat, sunscreen, and water for this upcoming weekend. Chris, haven't hit 90 yet. Could do it this weekend. Before we get to Chris, here's our birthday list on a Tuesday. All right, happy birthdays to Malin, 8 years old today. Happy birthday to you. Very sweet picture there. And there's Mike. So we're trying to figure, Mike, no offense, all right? We love you. We're trying to figure out if this is real because you just look so gosh darn relaxed and confident in this photo.
Chill.
Mike on the water, 76. All right, send us your birthday wishes The birthday's at KGW.com. We'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
He's been wakeboarding for 50 years, so he's got this, right? All right. Photojournalist Chad DeHart manning the wheel here of Drive 8. He's heading south over the Fremont Bridge to the top deck. And he is not alone. He's got plenty of company making that commute. The drive in from Main Street, by the way, in Clark County, down to the Fremont's up to about 30 minutes, or nearly 30 minutes. So the typical slow and go on that side of town. Also pretty thick right now from Clackamas south to Westland. This is I-205. This is near the Gladstone area, and you can see we're puttering along at about 11 miles an hour on that side of town. Cannot stress this enough. Today and tomorrow, with the arrival of the ships for Fleet Week, expect bridge lifts of the Broadway, the Steel, and the Burnside Bridge. Those bridge lifts can last upwards of 45 minutes. And today, the target time is 3 to 6 p.m. today, and tomorrow, Wednesday, 4 to 8 p.m. Guys?
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
We've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are wrapping up our show once again today on a Tuesday morning. 76 this afternoon, pretty similar day to yesterday. We get the northwest breezes. Don't forget, if you have plans to be outdoors tomorrow morning, there could be some misty or drizzle pockets falling from a thick low cloud deck in the morning. That's the only thing I really see on the 7-day outside of the weekend heat that you would need to plan around this.
Check this out. I-405 southbound. Chad DeHart manning the wheel of Drive 8. He's got plenty of company. Your I-5 South commute onto the Fremont's pretty thick, and other drive times are at peak excellence. 37 minutes right now to get you from Troutdale on Interstate 84 from Troutdale to the I-5 split.
That's an interesting piece of video.
Rod, really quick, you said at 5 o'clock this morning that you really wanted a Pop-Tart.
Yes, I like Pop-Tarts.
Well, now you're getting one. After a 6-year hiatus, Pop-Tarts is bringing back Frosted Blue Raspberry flavor. It's part of a collaboration with the upcoming Marvel movie, The Fantastic Four. First Steps, which comes out in theaters in July. That is my favorite flavor. I'm so excited.
Really?
I love that one.
They flood the shelves with strawberry, but you don't find blueberry hardly ever anymore, and it's a problem, America.
This is why we need to extend to 9, so we can talk about blueberries. Goodbye.